Imagine this. The sun is gone. The last orange light has died behind the trees. Your fire is small, the forest is huge, and every shadow looks alive. You are an ancient human. You have no lamp, no lock, no door, no phone, no clock, no wall between your skin and the dark. So what would you do? Would you sleep the moment the sky turns black? That is the false answer, because ancient humans did not simply vanish into sleep at sunset. They stayed awake for hours in the dark. They talked, they ate, they listened, they repaired tools, they watched the fire, they told stories, they guarded each other, and sometimes they hunted. This is the part modern people get wrong. We imagine the ancient night as empty. The sun goes down, the tribe curls up, everyone sleeps. Then the sun rises, everyone wakes. Clean, simple, natural. But the deeper reveal is stranger. The ancient night was not dead time, it was living time, it was danger time, it was social time, it was memory time. It was the part of the day when the human mind had to become sharper, not softer, because darkness did not make the world safer. Darkness made the world unreadable. A branch could be a snake, a rock could be a crouching animal, a sound could be wind or teeth, a stranger could be near, a child could wander, the fire could die, the cold could creep in, the tribe could become vulnerable. So the ancient human did not treat night like a switch. Night was not the command to sleep. Night was a test, and the first rule of that test was simple. Do not face it alone. For most of human history, sleep was never just personal. It was not your private wellness routine. It was not your perfect mattress. It was not your sleep tracker. It was a group survival problem. If everyone slept at once, everyone was exposed. If one person heard danger, everyone could live. So the night became shared. One person dozed, another listened. One child slept near warmth. One adult watched the edge of the light. One old voice spoke. One young mind remembered. The fire made a circle. Inside the circle was the tribe. Outside the circle was everything else. That boundary mattered, because humans are not night predators. We do not see like cats. We do not smell like wolves. We do not hear like owls. Our bodies were not built to dominate the dark, but our groups were built to survive it. That is the first deeper reveal. Ancient humans stayed awake in the dark because the dark was not empty. It was full of possible meanings. A crack in the bushes, a footstep, a shift in the wind, a sudden silence, a distant call. Every sound became a question. What made that? Where is it? Is it coming closer? Should we move? Should we wait? Should we wake the others? This is why darkness made humans social. A lone mind in the dark can panic. A group mind can compare signals. One person says they heard movement. Another says it was only a branch. Another remembers the same sound before a hyena appeared. Another throws wood on the fire. Fear becomes information. Information becomes decision. Decision becomes survival. But survival was not only about watching for teeth. It was also about holding the group together. The day scattered people. Some searched for plants. Some followed tracks. Some carried children. Some gathered wood. Some checked water. Some failed. Some returned tired. Some returned hungry. Some returned frightened. Then came night. The fire pulled them back into one place. And in that glow, the tribe repaired itself. This is the second deeper reveal. Ancient humans stayed awake after sunset because the night was when the group became whole again. They ate together, they shared what happened, they checked who was missing, they noticed who was injured, they listened to old worries, they settled small tensions, they laughed, they warned, they remembered, they planned. A modern evening can feel like downtime. An ancient evening was social maintenance. It was the invisible work that kept the tribe from breaking, because a broken tribe was a death sentence. One angry hunter could ruin a hunt. One ignored warning could kill a child. One forgotten water place could cost lives. One lonely person could drift away. So the dark hours became a place to reconnect. Not because ancient humans were sentimental, but because loneliness was dangerous. A human outside the group was exposed to meat. A human inside the group was part of a living shield. That shield had to be rebuilt every night. Words helped build it. Food helped build it. Rhythm helped build it. Fire helped build it. And stories may have been the strongest tool of all. Picture the scene. A small fire burns low. Children lean close. Adults stare into orange light. Beyond the circle, the forest is black. Someone begins to speak. At first it sounds like entertainment. That is the false answer. The deeper reveal is that the story is a weapon. It teaches without spilling blood. It scares without killing. It lets the tribe practice danger from safety. The monster beyond the river is also a warning. Do not cross alone. The spirit in the cave is also a map. Do not enter in the wet season. The tale of the foolish hunter is also training. Do not ignore tracks. The memory of the dead elder is also lore. Do not forget the old path. Around a fire, fear becomes a lesson. A lesson becomes culture. Culture becomes survival. This is why the ancient night mattered. Darkness made the imagination louder, and humans learned to use that. The same mind that could invent a monster could also remember a predator. The same mind that could fear a shadow could also draw a map. The same mind that could dream danger could also prepare for it. Night gave ancient humans time to think beyond the immediate. During the day, the body was busy. Walk, carry, dig, chase, cut, search, climb, watch. But at night the body slowed. The mind widened. It could replay the hunt. It could ask why the herd moved. It could remember where fruit was found. It could plan where to go tomorrow. It could wonder why the moon changed shape. It could imagine the dead still watching. The dark did not shut the mind down. It opened strange doors. This is where myth begins. Not because ancient people were foolish, but because humans hate unexplained patterns. A sound without a body becomes a spirit. A storm without control becomes a god. A dream of the dead becomes a message. A lucky escape becomes a ritual. The modern brain still does this. We call it overthinking. They called it the world speaking. Both come from the same ancient engine. The mind searches for meaning when certainty disappears, and nothing removes certainty like night. But not every dark hour was mystical. Some of it was practical, very practical. A stone tool could be touched up beside a fire. A basket could be patched. A hide could be scraped. A spear shaft could be checked. Food could be divided. Embers could be protected. The next day could be prepared. This is the third deeper reveal. Ancient humans stayed awake in the dark because darkness did not stop work. It changed the kind of work. You could not roam far. You could not see distant tracks. You could not read the land easily. So the work came inward. Hands worked near the fire. Voices worked on memory. Eyes worked on the shadows. Ears worked on the night. The tribe turned darkness into a workshop, a classroom, a warning system, a council, a theater, a temple, all in one circle of light. Then there is the body itself. Modern people often imagine sleep as a single perfect block. Lie down, disappear, wake up, done. But human sleep was likely more flexible than that. Ancient life did not always reward one rigid pattern. Cold changed things, heat changed things, hunger changed things, moonlight changed things, predators changed things, children changed things, seasons changed things. A safe night was not the same as a dangerous night. A winter night was not the same as a summer night. A full moon was not the same as black sky. A tired tribe was not the same as a hungry tribe. So the body learned flexibility, nap when possible, wake when needed, sleep when safe, listen when unsure, move when the night demands it. That flexibility is ancient. The rigid clock is not. This matters because many modern people treat nighttime wakefulness as failure. You wake at midnight, you panic, you count hours, you calculate tomorrow. You imagine ruin. You think something is wrong with you, but for ancient humans, waking in the dark was not automatically a crisis. It could be normal. It could be useful. It could be the moment someone added wood, the moment someone heard rain, the moment someone comforted a child, the moment someone remembered a dream, the moment someone told the group what they feared. Wakefulness was not always the enemy of rest. Sometimes it was part of survival. And this leads to the biggest reveal. Ancient humans stayed awake in the dark because the night belonged to more than sleep. It belonged to bonding, guarding, remembering, repairing, planning, teaching, imagining, and becoming human together. The day made humans move. The night made humans meaning makers. That is why the fire circle may be one of the most important places in our evolution. Not because fire only warmed us, not because fire only cooked food, but because fire created time. A protected time, a shared time. A glowing stage where the mind could do more than react. Around fire, humans could extend the day without becoming blind. They could sit facing each other. They could see expressions. They could copy gestures. They could pass knowledge. They could turn fear into narrative. They could turn strangers into kin. The fire did not just push back darkness. It pulled the human mind forward. Now jump ahead, thousands of years later. A farmer on the Nile stays awake after sunset. The fields are quiet. The air is cooling. The river reflects the moon. He plays a game. A musician taps rhythm. A family shares beer. A storyteller speaks of gods. A worker laughs in the dark. Egypt was not prehistoric in the simple sense. It had temples, kings, writing, calendars. But the ancient brain beneath it was older, still hungry for light, still afraid of silence, still using the dark to build meaning. The same pattern appears again. Night becomes ritual. Night becomes music. Night becomes story. Night becomes social glue. Night becomes the place where humans answer fear with culture. And now, look at us. The fire's gone. The phone glows instead. We sit in dark rooms with blue light on our faces. We scroll here, we message, we watch stories, we look for faces, we listen for signals. We tell ourselves, this is new. That is the false answer. The deeper reveal is uncomfortable. The shape is ancient. A small light in darkness, a restless mind, a need for connection, a fear of silence, a hunger for story. The object changed. The instinct did not. But there is one difference. The fire had limits. It burned low. The tribe grew quiet. The night cooled the body. The story ended. The phone does not end. It keeps feeding the ancient mind. More faces, more warnings, more stories, more arguments, more signals, more shadows. It gives the brain a fake fire that never dies. And that may be why modern darkness feels so strange. We are not simply awake at night. We are trapped between ancient needs and modern machines. The old brain wants the fire circle. The new world gives it an infinite screen. The old brain wants the tribe. The new world gives it strangers. The old brain wants a story. The new world gives it endless fragments. The old brain wants a warning. The new world gives it panic. So maybe the lesson is not that ancient humans slept better, or earlier, or more purely. Maybe the lesson is that they understood night differently. They did not treat every waking dark hour as wasted time. They did not treat the dark as empty. They used it. They listened to it. They filled it with voices. They made it social. They made it sacred. They made it useful. And maybe that is what we lost. Not sleep itself, but the meaning around it. Because when the world goes dark, the ancient brain still asks the same questions. Who is near me? Is the fire still alive? Did I hear something? What happened today? What happens tomorrow? What story explains this fear? What do I do with this silence? Ancient humans answered together. We often answer alone, with a screen. So tonight, when the room gets quiet, remember this. Your ancestors did not always fall asleep when the sun disappeared. They stayed awake under black skies. They listened, they spoke, they repaired, they guarded, they imagined. They became a tribe again. They did not survive the night by shutting down. They survived it by turning darkness into a place where humans could think, bond, and remember. That may be the oldest evening routine of all. Not a perfect bedtime, not a perfect wake-up hour, not a clean 8-hour block, but a small circle of light, a few familiar faces, a story strong enough to hold back the dark, and a restless mind finally given somewhere to belong.